Hey everyone, Biala here from Yoga by Biala, coming at you with a new video today. I did give some of my viewers on Facebook a little tidbit as to what I was going to be sharing today, and I will update the rest of you who have not been following me on Facebook and should be on what is going on today and what we're going to be sharing. Basically, a little bit ago I wrote a blog post talking about 5 basic, simple, easy tips on how to love yourself better. And the positivity that I got on that post was really phenomenal. So I thought I'd do a video basically sharing each of these 5 tips in depthly. And I also actually decided to add a new tip. So you're going to be getting 6 tips here today. Really simple, easy tips that you can do to love yourself a lot better. So let's get started. Tip number 1. Examine yourself without being critical. Now, if you're anything like myself, you are hard on yourself. I'm very much a perfectionist. I can be super hard on myself, like all the time. It's really shitty sometimes. As we start to examine ourselves more, as we start to get more intimate with ourselves and learn more about ourselves, learn more about our nuances and our mannerisms and our habits that maybe aren't so beneficial to ourselves and others around us, we want to do that without being critical, right? We want to be compassionate as we examine ourselves, because as long as we're critical when we do that self-examination or the self-awareness, then it's going to keep us from wanting to examine ourselves further. For example, let's say you get into an argument or a spat with a spouse or a loved one, and afterward you're reflecting on the argument, trying to see a little bit of what you could have done differently, or see, not necessarily trying to find fault in yourself, but just kind of check yourself and see, like, where did I kind of just basically add flame to that fire, and how could I have done it differently? When you're doing something like that, that's examining yourself. And you want to do so compassionately as opposed to being critical. Because like I said, if you're critical about it, when you examine yourself, you're not really going to want to keep doing it. And we want to continue to examine ourselves because it helps to usher our self-development and our self-growth. Number 2. Take the feedback that people give you as an opportunity to grow. Now this can be a hard one. So everybody thinks they got something to say. Everyone thinks they know something about you better than you know yourself, And sometimes there are people around you who are able to see you in certain areas better than you're able to see yourself. I know that's really hard to kind of accept. It's hard for me to even accept sometimes. But sometimes people are around you who can see certain things about you, a little bit better and a little bit clearer than you can. So when they offer you some feedback, granted, make sure it's feedback that you've asked for, but when they offer you feedback or some insight about yourself in a particular area, use it as an opportunity to grow as opposed to lashing back, giving them the karate hoorah on their comments. Because sometimes, yes, sometimes people have ill intent when they tell you something about yourself, but most of the time, if it's coming from someone who you really love and respect and who's close to you and who you're asking feedback from, they're telling you as a way to help you grow and to help you develop, not as a way to shoot you down. So what you want to do is kind of take away the pride and instead allow yourself to receive what they said about you, see where it really applies in your life, and use it as an opportunity to grow and develop in that arena. Tip number 3. Do unto you as you do unto others. Now, if you're a people pleaser like I used to be, hunty. This is a hard tip because you're so used to doing unto others way better than you do unto yourself, because you're constantly trying to please other people. And deep down inside, there's an insecurity that makes you feel like you're not deserving of that same type of treatment. I had to check myself on this real quick, because in order to love myself better, I don't need to see myself higher than everyone around me. I do need to understand that when I continue to give better to others and I continue to diminish the quality of who I am, I'm depleting who I am, and I'm continuously shutting myself down and making myself small and dimming my own light. And what I've learned to do is to do really well unto myself, do good to myself, and do well unto others, as an example of how I treat myself, as opposed to doing well unto others and then not really doing anything for myself. You want to continue to pour into yourself, uplift yourself, do well unto yourself, whether that's self-care, buying yourself beautiful gifts every now and again, continuing to uplift yourself with encouraging words, whatever you do, doing well unto yourself, and then allowing yourself to do well unto others from an abundance that you've already done on yourself, as opposed to doing well unto others and then diminishing your own light. Tip number 4. Don't assign any limitations to yourself. None. 0. We got that? Don't assign any limitations to yourself. There is nothing that you can't do. I continuously have to tell myself this. There's so many things that I want to do. I want to travel around the world. I want to have a tribe of babies. I want to build businesses. I want to, get my parents in that financial standing where they don't have to work anymore. I want to, create beautiful products and share with wonderful people. I want to heal people. I want to heal the sick. I want to heal people who need healing emotionally. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to save the world. I want to do everything that I can possibly do in this lifetime that I've been given to be here. And as soon as I start to limit myself, I stop living and I start existing. And I don't want to exist. I want to live. You can't assign limits to yourself, because when you do, you're cutting off your opportunity to live a life, and then you're just kind of existing and creating frameworks around your life that you kind of have to live by, because your life is basically a replica of what comes out of your heart, or what you already believe. And so if you believe that you have limits, then you will have limits. But you have to know and understand and begin to receive the idea that there is nothing that you can't do. Literally, there is nothing. There's an infinite amount of possibilities of decisions that you can make at any given time, meaning there's an infinite number of possibilities. There's an infinite number of things that you can do at any given time. There really are no limits. The only limits that we have are ones that we create in our minds. And as soon as we start to break down those walls, then everything is opened up to you. So please, don't assign any limits to yourself. Go out there and live, honey. Tell them I sent you. Tip number 5, 5. Build myself up. What I mean by that is it's so important for you to build yourself up with encouraging self-talk. I used to break myself down, hunty. Down with the self-deprecating talk I used to give onto myself, that my inner voice was telling me, that I was allowing myself to speak over myself. There were so many things that I've been told as a young girl, and things that I took to believe as true about myself, that my self-talk just replicated that. It just emulated all the negativity that I believed about myself. And it wasn't until I started to really change my self-talk and start to build myself up and build my soul up with my own encouraging words, that I started to actually see growth in my life, and it started to begin to receive the light that was in me and the beauty that was in me, and start to see it kind of emulating itself outside of me. Building yourself up with encouraging self-talk is one of the best ways and one of the easiest ways that you can start to love yourself better. There's things that I have written in my bathroom or on my wall. You want to call them affirmations. Some of them are scriptures, biblical scriptures for me, that I need to continue to see and continue to tell myself and speak over myself constantly. Whatever those things are for you, it could just be something, I am beautiful, that you say to yourself every morning, and that you say to yourself along the way of your day. But what you want to do to make these things really effective is start to focus on using self-talk that you already know and believe about yourself. Whether it be your sparkling, beautiful eyes, or your good heart, Or maybe it's your unique attention to detail, your creativity. Maybe it's your wit. Maybe it's just, I'm a bomb lover. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be really anything. But starting with things that you know and believe about yourself is going to help you and to encourage yourself as you start to believe those things down. Utilizing things that you believe about yourself already, it's just going to kind of create a domino effect. And you're going to start to kind of grow in what you believe about yourself and the good things that you see about yourself and the nourishing things that you see about yourself. It's just going to keep growing on itself until it becomes this wealth of strong and beautiful belief that you have in yourself. And you can use those beliefs to continue to pour over yourself, encouraging self-talk, and build yourself up through it. Last but not least, my bonus tip. Tip number 6, patience. What you talking about, Biala? Patience. Why would patience help me to love myself better? Hunting. Patience is a very, very real and very beautiful way to love yourself better. When you're patient with yourself, you're taking off all of these demands and expectations on yourself to be something or be a particular place or be a particular person at a certain point in time. And as millennials growing up in this millennial generation, or even baby boomers before us, it's so easy for us, especially as women, to assign a certain age to have accomplished a certain amount of things, to have had children at a certain time, to have traveled the world by a certain amount of time. And it doesn't get easier. I know it myself. It doesn't get easier when you see women and men around you excelling at rapid rates and traveling the world and doing all of these things that you so desperately long to want to do. I'm definitely in this boat. One of the best ways that I've learned to love myself better is to be patient with myself, to be patient with the process that I am in, and to enjoy the process that I am in instead of speeding along through it so I can get to some end point that I've put an expectation on myself to get to. That is hard. That is just, it's so hard when you put those expectations on yourself. It's kind of like the antithesis of love, because you're pushing yourself, you're terrorizing yourself to get somewhere, and you're not allowing yourself to just enjoy who you are and where you are. That in itself is so beautiful. God is going to unfold everything in front of you the way He's already planned to unfold everything in front of you. The best thing that you can do is love yourself in that process and in that time, and give yourself the best fucking loving that you can possibly give yourself. And that's one of the most true statements that I can tell you, because I'm constantly doing that for myself, being patient with myself, loving on myself as best that I can, and just being patient where I am right now. I hope that this helps you guys. If you have additional tips to how to love yourself better, please share them below in the comments. Don't hold the good news out on us. Share it with myself, share it with the other people who are watching this video. Let us know what's good. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have so much more coming to you guys. I'm really excited to really take this channel to a whole nother level beyond yoga sequences, just taking this to some lifestyle shit. I'm really excited about that. Don't forget to participate in the Body Love Yoga Challenge. You'll find a link to the challenge below. We're well into the challenge, but you're able to participate wherever you find yourself and whenever you meet us. We hope that's today. And then also, don't forget to find me on Instagram at yogabybiala.com. Subscribe to my newsletter at yogabybiala.com. And I will see you very soon. Namaste. Love you guys.